the night burning bright, yeah, no stop. Wheels scream and spit that fire, dirt and gravel, they pop. Oil slick under the street lights, the shadows start to dance. Adrenaline like thunder, man, give me that last chance. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Crowds gather up like wolves, howling for that speed. Races blood pumping fast, gasoline is all they need. Tracks alive like a monster, the dirt flies and bends. Ruthless turns, heart turns savage till the night ends. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Underneath the moonlight, crowds roar so loud. Pride's in the throttle, not in faces of a crowd. A brotherhood of metal, sweat, gears that grind. Cross that line or get left behind. Cold air cuts the dawn, still our fires rage. Holding bruises like trophies, exhaling battle cage. The stands are empty now, but the ghosts they remain. This dirt track story sings forever in our veins. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. This is raw real.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to go to battle here this evening. We get ready to duke it out as the Dirt Warrior Racing League, the Wednesday night street fights, back in action here this afternoon from the beautiful Lucas Oil Speedway. As drivers get ready to go to battle, they get ready to duke it out here in this one. We welcome each and every one of you in to the show here this afternoon. As my boy Caleb Ramsey, Caleb coming in with that exclamation mark followage with the 1,199 days of being a follower here on Peacemaker Gaming. Absolutely mother fluffing insane, brother. Almost 1,200 days of being a follower here on Peacemaker Gaming. As Caleb also coming in with that like on the stream. Mama Bear coming in with that heart reaction coming in, showing the love here in this one. And my boy Matthew Moore coming in, dropping that thumbs up here on the broadcast as well. As you guys are just tuning in, if you haven't already, even if you're rewatching the broadcast and you're not watching it live right now, make sure you guys jump into the comments section. Let us know who you're cheering for, who you want to see up in victory lane, and make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that follow or subscribe button. If you're watching over on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, make sure you become part of the Peacemaker family today. As we'll get these drivers out on the racetrack, each and every one of them are ready to rock and roll. They are ready to go to battle here in this one as drivers jumping out onto the racetrack here for their qualifying efforts. So drivers are trying to put themselves inside the top 20 out there on the racetrack as the Tommy Gun Custom 7X rider Jacob Stefanski Stefanski jumps up into position number 4. We see Jackie Whaley out there in that beautiful 304 Roots DWR ride. He's up inside the top 20 right now. Kyle Surratt now into position number 10 in that Bulletproof Motorsports JP Designs ride is the coach himself here up into that 10th position on the racetrack. But right now it's Jamie Massey. Massey with the quick time. Blake Murray there in second. Lon Franks, William Hargraves, Jacob Stefanski, our top 5. Bryce Dickinson, Cody Gagliano, Kyle Moyer, Justin Johnson, and Kyle Surratt are top 10, but it doesn't last for long as the Alpha Shark jumps in to position number 3. So Tyler Jackson up and in the third, knocking Kyle Surratt outside the top 10. It's Adam Oxley, Ty Ralph, Dylan Simmons, and Brandon Van Houten now inside the top 15 out there on the Speedway. Evan Monaghan, Cameron Stefanski, Jackie Whaley, Jeremy Akins, and Chad Puterbo are top 20 out there on the Speedway. Now, some of these drivers, as we are only taking the top 20 into the show here this afternoon, unfortunately for some of these other drivers, they will be loading up their rides and joining the fans in the stands here this evening. Except for some of the drivers on the outside of the top 20, there are some, some people that get in here. Some of the drivers that are, been a part of the series, been a part of the fun, are trusted good drivers out there on the Speedway that are, a part of the DWR crew or have been a part of the Dirt Warrior Racing Leagues in the past and have had some good run-ins, like Tim Taylor, who's back in 22nd. He'll get a, what do you want to call it? Prelim? Not prelim, provisional. That's the word I'm looking for. They'll get provisionals into the show. So, like Tim Taylor, Dakota Proud, Evan Stefanski, some of these guys will probably get some, some provisionals into the show here. You look back at Chris Hill back in 27th. Those are some drivers that'll probably get in. Kevin Bowley, maybe Cody Wright, some of these other drivers. Steven Stefanski back there in 36. Some drivers just not qualifying to their best ability here this afternoon, but still having some great runs out there on the Speedway as we loaded in here. We got probably about 60 drivers that have loaded in and trying to run here this afternoon. Some of them have laid down qualifying laps. Other drivers, unfortunately, have not got qualifying laps in. Some of those being Jesse Main, Derek Pope, Jimmy Sutton, Zach Dillon, and a lot of these other cats. So we'll have to wait and see where the officials call that line and who they allow in on the provisionals and who our top 20 will be this afternoon. As Caleb says, much love, brother. I appreciate you, Caleb, coming in, showing the love. And Mama Bear says hello, my boy Aaron. Hello, Mama Bear. How are you, my girl? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful Wednesday. As Brycey Bear, Bryce Dickinson. Brycey Bear, how are you, brother? Brycey Bear coming in as well with that heart reaction. How are you, Brycey Bear? How you doing this afternoon, brother? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful Wednesday as well as we get ready to set them loose. We get ready to go to battle. Thomas Dennis over there on YouTube says, yo, what's up, Aaron? Hey, what's up, brother? What's up, the hummus? How are you, my boy? How are you, Mr. Dennis? Hopefully you're having yourself a great day as well, and hopefully you're ready to see some great racing action as there goes Ty Ralph around Johnson and the 76, right? All going to get tied up in that one. We do see Bryce Dickinson in that beautiful Papa Mike Promotions Mama Bear HNL 618 engraving and designs ride rolling out there onto the Speedway. Always looking fresh out there on the Speedway, and that car is looking very sharp here this afternoon, and unfortunately gets a little bit of damage right there. Luckily enough, this is only the warm-up session. Is now him and the 71 rider Hargraves going to get together there. They get tied up together as, there you go, the Tommy Gun Customs number 7X of Jacob Stefanski looking good out there on the Speedway. Cameron Stefanski right there in front of him is a pair of those Sunrise Racing rides. Right now, two of the quickest drivers out there on the racetrack is Jackie Whaley. Sits back there just outside the top 3. He's about the 5th fastest car. The 11 ride, Kyle Moyer. Good to see Moyer out there as well. That Milner Media Designs ride, the iRacing iFlag 11 ride there inside the top 5 right now is Adam Oxley in this 357, showing some good speed this afternoon as well. Same with Justin Johnson in his TNT Racing number 38 ride. Tim Taylor, he's out there in his TNT Racing machine as Tim the Toolman Taylor looking to have a solid run this afternoon. There you see that beautiful DWR iRacing iFlag Dirt Panda. The Grumpy's Garage number 20 ride. That is Chad Puterbo. Puterbo always looking good out there on the Speedway, man. That car's always looking sharp. And another fancy looking paint scheme here. I'm loving the colors here on that 20 ride this afternoon. Ty Ralph out there in that 2 ride, another TNT Racing machine. You do see Casey Childers out there as well in that beautiful 92 ride, as Childers looks to have a big run, as we do see Lon Franks now sliding out there onto the racetrack. So Franks out there laying down some laps, making sure that his car is ready to rock and roll. Same with Jeremy Aikens out there in his beautiful number 7 machine, as each and every one of these drivers, they're laying down lap times. They're making sure their cars are absolutely perfect and ready to go here this afternoon, making sure that they have made all the right adjustments, making sure that their cars are absolutely set up perfectly here for this A main feature event. As that's LingenDirt.com number 7 ride, continuing to look for some extra speed out of that 7 machine, as my boy Thomas Dennis says, yes sir, pumped up to see some good and tight racing from these guys, and says hashtag number 20 cheering on the 20 ride. Which 20 ride are you cheering for here this afternoon? We tend to have quite a bit of 20s out there. Tonight we got the 20 of Chap Puderbo, we got the 20 ride of Cody Gagliano. Normally we got a pair of 20s out there as well when we see the oh man, what are the other Tommy Gun custom rides that I'm thinking of. Now I'm drawing a blank here. I'm having a bit of a brain fart up here, but we normally see quite a few 20s out there on the racetrack. Some of them are 2020s and 20s, and so many 20s out there on the Speedway. The 720 of Jackie Whaley. There's so many 20s out there on the Speedway. Seems to be a very popular number here these days, as we'll get them ready to rock and roll. This warm-up session quickly coming to a close. That means we'll get ready to go right into battle here this evening, as Jeremy says, I was going to make it tonight, but they moved real race night from Saturday to Friday. So we in the shop. Good luck tonight, everyone. Oh, brother. Well, hey, I mean, as long as you can get some racing in, brother. As long as you can get some real life racing in, man. I mean, it's worth it. It's worth it. An extra day in the shop, making sure that you get that car absolutely perfect there for your in real life race season, man. Hopefully it goes perfect. Hopefully it goes really, really well for you. And hopefully we see that, Jeremy Vaughn racing ride up in Victory Lane in real life here on Friday night, my boy. And hey, you know what? It sucks that we don't get to see you out there on the racetrack, but it's definitely going to be a lot of fun to be able to be out there and racing in real life. And can't fault you for that, my boy. We can't fault you for that. It's Jeremy Vaughn himself coming in with that heart reaction on the broadcast, showing the love here in this one. Dakota Proud also coming in with that like on the stream. How are you, Dakota? How are you, Jeremy? Hopefully you guys are having yourselves some great days at the Speedways. Casey Childers also coming in with that share on the broadcast. I appreciate that, Casey. Coming in showing the love here this afternoon, as we'll get these drivers locked and loaded, ready to rock and roll, ready to go to battle here this evening, as that HNL 84 ride. Bryce Dickinson back out there on the racetrack laying down some laps, and there we go. That checkered flag will be displayed, so the warm-up session has come to a close. That means we'll get ready to rock and roll. We'll get ready to go to battle. Our A main feature event about to get underway. These drivers getting ready to go to battle here this evening. And cheered on Puderbo. I figured you were cheered on Puderbo here this afternoon there, Thomas. I knew what you were talking about. I just wanted to make some fun there, as I know we have a lot of 20s out there on the Speedway on most of these nights, and these dirt street stocks, a very popular number out there on the Speedways. You do look at that green and black 20 ride. That is Cody Gagliano. Cody starts back there in the 8th position, but starting on the pole here this afternoon, a different paint scheme here tonight for Jamie Massey, as he's sporting the beautiful Dirt Panda 52 ride. Now, that's normally a Billy Northcutt paint scheme here in that Wild Bill Race Designs Dirt Panda Viv's Liquor number 52 ride. Massey supporting another paint scheme here this evening, and the 83 ride there to his outside. So we'll start on that front row. That is Blake Murray, his HNL teammate there, but both these drivers are going to go to the rear of the field here to start this afternoon. So that's going to move Tyler Jackson, T-Jack, to the front of the field here. Lon Franks into second, as William Hargraves up into third. Jacob Stefanski now going to start there in fourth. Bryce Dickinson going to start in position number 5 with that 20 rider. Cody Gagliano to his outside in that 6th position. Then we see Kyle Moyer and Justin Johnson, our top 8 on the racetrack, and starting on the inside. Row number 5, it's Kyle Surratt and Adam Oxley rounding out the top 10 there in that 357. Then we see the number 2 machine. That is Dylan Actually, that is the 2 ride of Tyrell, the number 3-3. That is the 33 ride there to his outside of Dylan Simmons. And then we see Evan Monaghan in the 13, Brandon Van Houten, Jackie Whaley, Cameron Stefanski, Jen Puderbo back there in the 18th position. Jeremy Aikens down to his inside. Tim the Toolman Taylor in that number 92. That is Casey Childers there in that 19th spot on the Speedway. Evan Stefanski, Dakota Proud, Chris Hill, Stephen Barreau, Jamie Massey, Steven Stefanski, Blake Murray bringing up the rear of the field here as we will add all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are quickly green flag racing here from Lucas Oil Speedway. Quickly we see these drivers door to door beating and banging and battling, trying to race their way into the front of the field. It's a very long race, and now we do see Adam Oxley up and over the banking there in corner number 1. That 357 right unfortunately goes from inside the top 10 to all the way back into 20th. So unfortunate mistake right there, getting bumped up the racetrack into that upper banking there, and luckily enough he's able to keep himself out of the fence, out of the wall, gets that car rolling here still and trying to race his way, see if he can get back towards the front of the field here in this one. As T-Jack Tyler Jackson out in front, the Alpha Shark, that Dirt Warrior Racing iRacing iFlag Dirt Panda, that T-Jack machine out in front, leading the way with Lon Franks there in second. Hargraves back there in third with Jacob Stefanski and Cody Gagliano now up inside the top 5. Good to see Cody back out there on the racetrack, and we did see Papa Gag out there as well. I don't know if Papa Gag started this race or not, but we did see Papa Gag at least out there on the racetrack battling here this afternoon as Bryce Dickinson, Brycey Bear rolling there in 6th with Justin Johnson right behind him in that 7th position. Kyle Moyer and Kyle Surratt battling door to door here for the 8th position. It's the battle of the Kyles out there on the racetrack as Tyrell right there behind them, rounding out our top 10. Simmons there in 11th with Jackie Whaley, Brandon Van Houten, Chad Puterbo now up into 14th as he's a man on a mission moving his way towards the front of the field. Here's Evan Monaghan, Cameron Stefanski, Jeremy Akins, Casey Childers, Tim Taylor, and Evan Stefanski now rounding out our top 20 on the racetrack. That's where we find Adam Oxley in that 52 of Jamie Massey. Is Massey back there battling door to door with Dakota Brown for the 22nd spot on the Speedway, as we'll have to wait and see if Jamie can work his way up through the field and up to the front of the pack here and see if he can try to put himself into victory lane. As right behind him, Blake Murray leaning in and trying to get himself away around that 5 ride of Chris Hill and that 14 ride of Dakota Brown, and he'll take those spots and slide up into 23rd as here comes Steven Stefanski in that Steve's Landscaping number 15 ride back there in at 25th. Dakota Proud in that 45 of Stephen Barreau rounding out our top 27 on the racetrack. So 27 drivers taking that green flag. So far, we've been clean and green. Nothing but good, hard, clean racing out there on the Speedway. And we start to see some drivers working their way towards the front of the field. Other drivers maybe trying to be a little bit more cautious here. Maybe trying to save their tires, try to keep these cars, under control here for the first half of this race before letting them eat, knowing that this is a very long race. 65 laps of action here this afternoon. So you don't want to be too hard on the equipment. You don't want to burn these tires up in the first half of this race. You want to make sure you got something left in the tank for later on, and trying to hold all these drivers back there in bay and trying to see if you can put yourself up into victory lane. So it's going to be no easy task, but if we stay clean and green, this 8 rider Tyler Jackson, man, he is always so good of not only running fast laps, being at the front of the field, but also saving those tires. You see Lon Franks back there behind him in position number 2. Cody Gag has closed the gap here and worked his way up and into that 3rd position. We do see a bumper there on corner number 2, but no caution flag. We keep it clean and green, even though someone's missing a bumper out there on the racetrack. Nonetheless, we keep it rolling as you do see Jacob Stefanski, Hargraves right there rounding out our top 5 on the racetrack with Justin Johnson and Bryce Dickinson there in 6th and 7th. Tyrell now up into 8th as he's made his way around the pair of Kyles as Kyle Surratt and Kyle Moyer now round out our top 10. Jackie Whaley back there in the 11th position as he's trying to get that 304 Roots DWR 720 right up towards the front of the field. He's back in that 11th position, but right now up 7 spots on the racetrack and trying to work his way inside the top 10. Brandon Van Houten right there in 12th, and that 20 right at Chad Puterbo also up 7 spots out there on the racetrack, and he'll find himself in that 13th spot on the Speedway. Dylan Simmons, Evan Monaghan rounding out our top 15 with Jeremy Akins, Evan Stefanski, Adam Oxley, Tim Taylor, and that 2 of Cameron Stefanski Stefanski rounding out our top 20. Right behind him, you do see Jamie Massey and Blake Murray, two drivers that were supposed to start on the front row. Massey, after winning last week's race, has to take that EOL race. Winner of the last week's race goes to the back of the pack, and right in front of him, you do see that missing bumper on that two right of Cameron Stefanski. So we finally found the victim of tearing off that bumper cover, and unfortunately for that two right, he's now got no extra protection there, protecting that radiator or the front end of that car as he battles door to door now for that 20th spot. Massey down to his inside. They make a little contact. Look out. They're leaning on each other as Massey tries to get around him. That's going to create a little bit of right front damage there for that 52 ride. Definitely a little bit of damage as well onto that Sunrise Racing machine of Cameron Stefanski as Cameron continued to battle with them, not wanting to give up that spot very easily, and that's going to definitely hurt Jamie Massey as he tries to work his way back up through the front of the field. He was able to get it done last week, able to race his way up towards the front of the pack here, and unfortunately for that 52 ride, now at the rear of the field after taking that EOL, going from the pole position back to the rear of the field. Him and Blake Murray, they really haven't made up very much ground. They've passed a handful of cars or so, but they haven't really started to work themselves inside the top 20, and as they start to work through that top 20, the passes are only going to get tougher and tougher and tougher, and right now, Jamie, he's having a hard time. He's getting blocked seriously and having some tough breaks trying to work himself around this two ride of Cameron Stefanski, and it's not helping him staying clean and green as well. He's trying to protect those tires, trying to save a little of equipment here for late in this race, especially if we start to see some of these caution flags, but right now, we've kept it clean and green and no yellow flags out there on the speedway, but man, oh man, oh man, we've been close a couple times. Here we go. You see that 76 ride, Brandon Van Houten working down to the inside here with Jackie Whaley. Whaley trying to hold on to the 11th position, but Brandon Van Houten trying to take it away from him. This is a great battle out there on the racetrack, as now you do see Kyle Surratt. He was trying to take a peek down low underneath that TNT Racing number 2 with Ty Ralph. Ralph able to hold him off, though, keep that momentum up on the high side as he's all over the back bumper here of Bryce Dickinson. Bryce, unfortunately, gets a little squirrely there down the back straightaway, able to keep that car pointed in the right direction, though, keeps on rolling as out in front, Tyler Jackson. T-Jack continuing to lead the way. T-Jack out in front, that beautiful Alpha Shark, the Dirt Panda iRacing iFlag DWR ride, continuing to lead the way. He's got one of his DWR teammates right there behind him. Now, these two have been 1 and 2 on the racetrack for a lot of these races, and right now, Lon Franks, I know he wants to get another upper hand win and try to get one in the history books over Tyler Jackson, so Lon's going to be working hard here late in this race, see if he can try to take this race lead away from T-Jack and see if he can try to steal this win away from Tyler here this evening. It's Jacob Stefanski right there in position number 3. Cody Gagliano falling back one spot there into position number 4 and has that DWR iRacing iFlag number 71. That is William Hargraves right there behind him in that 5th spot on the speedway. Justin Johnson up into 6th. Ty Ralph now into 7th as he's able to complete that pass on Bryce Dickinson. Brycey Bear now trying to roll that inside groove here, trying to see if he can find a little something down low. His driver's starting to search around the racetrack, trying to find different lanes and different runs that they could use to potentially put themselves up towards the front of the field. There's some great racing back here, a little deeper in the field and right in the thick of it. That is that 52 with Jamie Massey. Massey now working himself up into the 18th position after working himself around Cameron Stefanski, around Jeremy Akins, and you also see Adam Oxley right there as well. He's trying to work himself back up inside the top 20 on the racetrack as he's back there in that 20th position. You see Blake Murray back there in 22nd, Chris Hill back in 23rd with Steven Stefanski, Dakota Proud, and Casey Childers. Casey Childers back there in that 92 ride, that Childers Family Racing number 92 ride back there in 26. Stephen Baru back there in position number 27. And unfortunately, with all these green flag laps, he's starting to see our race leaders come into that rear view mirror, and they are not too far away from starting to catch some of this rear end traffic here, starting to catch some of this lap traffic as, there you go, less than a straightaway away for our race leaders to catch the back of the pack here and start putting these drivers a lap down out there on the speedway. Oh, the overlay here is not working very well. Let's get that fixed up here. I can get the tracker to work, Mama Bear. I can get the tracker to work. I got you. I got you. There it goes. There it goes. Sometimes it just doesn't like to automatically switch over. Sometimes it doesn't automatically do it, and it really, really sucks, man. We wish it could always do it, but sometimes it just does not automatically do it. So I'm glad I checked over there and made sure I read that comment. As we do see Taylor Pratt, T-Pratt coming in, showing the love here, and this one says T-Jack car not showing up on the stream. It's definitely showing up on the stream, unless you're talking about the new one. I refreshed it. He may just have it set up wrong. That's the one that's the one that he has on it. As we see this battle at the front of the field, it's a great battle. T-Jack rolling down on the tires. He's trying to protect his tires, and unfortunately, that's going to slow his pace, and we get a new race leader here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Basically halfway through this race, and Lon Franks lead the way here in this one now. Is Franks able to take that race lead away? You do see Jacob Stefanski going to roll around Tyler Jackson as T-Jack slides back into position number 3 here. He's not going to give it up easily, though. He's going to continue to battle here, but not wanting to push the subject here, not wanting to burn his equipment up, and still trying to save a little bit out there on the speedways. Lon Franks and Jacob Stefanski, they're starting to try to run away with this one, and seeing this stay clean and green. It may stay clean and green all afternoon, and that may make things very, very difficult for the rest of this field. When we look back through the field, we see Jamie Massey, one of those drivers that's normally at the front of the field, was quickest in qualifying. He's back here battling just outside the top 15. He's in that 16th position, trying to work himself around that iRacing iFlag Dirt Panda DWR number 20 of Chad Puterbo. Puterbo trying to hold on to that 15th position. Door-to-door racing there is Monikin trying to take a look underneath of Brandon Van Houten there for that 13th position, and that's going to hold up that 52 ride. Unfortunately, without a caution flag right now, he's in a very difficult and very peculiar scenario out there on the speedway. It's unfortunately no yellow flags, not able to use those fresh tires that he may have underneath him, trying to save tires back there deeper in the field, and unfortunately he's going to have to wait and see if we get that caution flag, if the door will be open for him to potentially start to work his way up throughout the top 15 and top 10 out there on the racetrack and trying to get into this battle for the race lead. But as the laps continue to get clicked off, we inch closer and closer to this checkered flag, and unfortunately for that number 52 and some of those other drivers that were maybe trying to play that strategy game there, they're unfortunately kind of just running out of time. Even if we do see that caution flag come out here later in this race, they may not have enough time to still work themselves through traffic and get back into the battle here at the front of the field. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Is Marcos, what's good? Marcos Base says, good luck TNT boys. Sorry I couldn't make it in this morning. It's all good, brother. It's all good, Marcos. Hey man, it's got to be tough making these races. Being from Australia, man, I don't know what time it is over there in Australia, but I'm sure it's pretty early or close to, you know, mid-afternoon or close to the afternoon there for you. And unfortunately, you know, it's tough. It's difficult to always try to make these races unless you're working, you know, the Australian midnight shift or afternoon shift over there and allowing yourself the mornings to jump on here and race with the fellas. As Lon Franks out in front, continuing to lead the way. Franks at the front of the field trying to hold these drivers off here at Lucas Oil Speedway right there in front of them. That's another one of our Aussie friends this afternoon. That is that 50 or 45 ride of Stephen Baru. Baru right in front of our race leaders. Oh, baby. Gets a little loose, pulls down to the inside of the racetrack, lets them go by. Luckily enough, does not get stopped on the racetrack. If he would have stopped there on the speedway, the caution flag would have been thrown, and that's not what we want to see. We want to see this one staying clean and green. We want to see these guys duke it out as Lon Franks, Jacob Stefanski 1 and 2, Tyler Jackson, T-Jack hanging right there with them in position number 3. Now they got about a 2-second gap all the way back to that 4th place driver, Cody Gagliano. Gagliano trying to hold on to that 4th position as William Hargraves trying to steal it away from him. Then you see Justin Johnson back there in 6th, Tyrell there in 7th, Bryce Dickinson, Kyle Moyer, and Kyle Surratt are top 10 on the racetrack. Massey back there only up and into 14th as we see our first caution flag of the day. Our first yellow flag will be displayed here in this one, just under 20 laps left to go here in this race, as it looks like Tim the Toolman Taylor, another one of those TNT racing rides, going to run into some issues here as he's a little deeper in the field, just outside the top 15 here. Unfortunately, it looks like he's already got a little right front damage on this 99 ride. Sends it into corner number 1. Clips a infield tractor tire and goes for a wild ride down here into corner number 1. Wowzers, that was a heavy hit right there. See if we can jump on board here with Tim Taylor and see what he can see. Is, yeah, just sends it into the corner. Unfortunately, just turns in a little too soon and right into one of those tractor tires. And those things, man, they do not move. They don't budge an inch out there on the racetrack. And unfortunately, for the Memphis Grizzlies TNT Racing 99 ride, Tim the Two-Man Taylor found out the hard way here this afternoon. Is bam! What a hit, what a ride right there. Flying up through the sky upside down, and luckily enough that car does land back on all 4 tires, and unfortunately though that may be done for this afternoon. That car is going to be heavily damaged. Now here you go, our first restart of the afternoon, our first restart of the day. It's Lon Franks out in front. He continues to lead these drivers as we get ready to go back to battle. Down across the line, it will be 19 more laps left to go as Jeremy says, come on Jacob. Stefanski cheered on Stefanski out there on the speedway as he gets rolling here to the outside of our race leader. But here we go, cautions breeding cautions. Looks like we're going to get an extended caution flag, or having some issues back there trying to get this race restarted, and the yellow flag going to come right back out here. You know, I'm not too sure where this caution flag comes from, as they just stacked up back there. There is a lot of action going on back here. Where is this caution flag? Where is it? It's not even showing me the restart or the reason for that extended yellow flag. There is just a bunch of drivers that apparently got crashed right there. Where in the world? It's Tim Taylor's. Okay, so it was a caution under the caution. Nonetheless, we're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing. So the green flag back out into the air here in this one. Lon Franks back onto the loud pedal, but there's contact. Franks, oh, sideways on the racetrack. Look at more drivers down through the grass. Somehow or another, we keep it clean and green. No caution flag back out there on the racetrack, but they're still wrecking back there in corner number 1 and 2, and there it is. Caution flag back out there on the speedway. So caution flag coming back out. That one was a lot of chaos there on that restart. A lot of chaos, a lot of contact, and unfortunately, a bunch of drivers getting tied up here, and a lot of our front runners having issues out there on the racetrack. As we take a look here, Lon Franks on this restart trying to get a good jump here. Does get a solid jump down on the inside lane, but T-Jack right there with him. Looks like Tyler's just going to get a little piece of him right there. Unfortunately, nudges him just a little bit into that corner. Unfortunately, that contact just going to knock the rear end loose here on this 10 ride. And that's going to slide that 10 machine just up over the nose there of Jacob Stefanski. Now, Stefanski, he's checked up. Everyone else down on the inside lane, they're checking up. And everyone back there behind them is all trying to work themselves out and through this trouble. And unfortunately, for a lot of these drivers, see Tyler Ralph hard into the infield tires there. You see the 13 rider Evan Monaghan, he gets ran over. He goes up the racetrack and into the outside fence, and the 357 of Oxley, the 14 rider Proud, all going to get in there as well. So a lot of tore up race cars here trying to go back to green flag racing yeah, that was something, ladies and gentlemen. That was a lot of chaos right there. A lot of drivers just getting tore up in a quick hurry out there on the speedway. A lot of these drivers just really nowhere to go, trying to figure out which lane, where they want to jump and restart here. And unfortunately, a lot of these cats, man, just get log jammed, nowhere to go out there on the racetrack. Nothing they can really do except for just sit in line and hope to make it through there. And unfortunately for a lot of these cats, not getting through there without some heavy damage. Ty Ralph getting some serious damage there in that TNT Racing number 2 ride. Here we go. Back to green flag racing quickly. Green flag back out into the air. T-Jack down low. Lon Franks that time went to the high side here. Unfortunately going to open up that bottom lane, and Tyler Jackson looking to try to take this race lead back away. So T-Jack out in front as Tyler Jackson, Lon Franks, door to door. More contact deeper in the field. Chad Puterbo trying to hang on to his car, as looks like he's actually going to take his car off the racetrack. The 92 ride of Casey Childers tied up in that, as well as the 92. It's rocking and rolling once again. It's out in front. It is Tyler Jackson trying to run away with this one, but Long Frank's not letting him run away with it as he continues to work that outside lane as we get only 15 more laps left to go here from Lucas Oil Speedway. Hey, it's Kev. What's good, Kev? Coming in, showing the low. Says, sup, dude? What's up? Okay, it's Kev. How are ya? And Tim Taylor says, screen went black. Whew, what fun. What fun, he says. Yeah, that's a tough one right there for you, Timmy. That's a tough one, brother. Never fun when that screen goes black and you don't know what you're doing or where you're going out there on the racetrack. As you look back here, if you're in the middle of this dogfight, if you're trying to make it through there, man, where do you go? You can't really go anywhere. You're kind of just stuck in line trying to follow the traffic, hoping that you can find a gear, find a little bit of a run, and see if you can move yourself forward. And some of these drivers like Cody Gagliano, Bryce Dickinson, Cameron Stefanski, that 52 rider, Jamie Massey, they're all right there in the thick of it. They're trying to find their way through it, and unfortunately right now they just got really nowhere to go. A lot of these other drivers that were kind of saving some tires deeper in the field now starting to work themselves up and through the traffic. When you look back here, Steven Stefanski now up into 15th. Dakota Proud, they're in 16th. Dylan Simmons right there in that 14th spot as well. Kyle Surratt falling backwards as here comes Blake Murray. Here comes Evan Modigan. Evan Stefanski there in the 22 is there. Still 2, 3, 4 wide out there on the racetrack, and there's some more contact. Look out! Around goes Murray. Murray pointing the wrong direction. There's the caution flag. Caution flag going to come back out as the 83, the HNL number 83, goes for a loop-de-loop here as he gets some help in this one. He gets a lot of help here as he makes it's a little contact here. There's contact back there behind him between the 18 and the 22, and it looks like Evan Stefanski just tries to send it in there, tries to throw maybe what would be a slider over that 18 ride of the coach, and unfortunately this comes in, big head of momentum, trying to carry all that speed down into corner number 1. Unfortunately, Blake Murray trying to roll that inside lane, has to get woed down, has to get checked up to run his lane, and the 22 is just going to drive into his back bumper, jack that HNL Mama Bear number 83 ride up and spin him around, and that is a tough break there for that 83. Luckily enough, he's not going to lose too much track position and doesn't get too much damage there on that ride, so we'll get them all ready to roll here once again. We'll get ready to go back to battle, ready to duke it out here again as Tyler Jackson, T-Jack, leading the way here in this one, looking to try to put himself into victory lane as Haynes Kemp says, have a good off week. If I didn't see you streaming, have a good Easter, brother. You as well. Hopefully everyone has a wonderful Easter, a wonderful time, as we'll be still up here in the booth. We'll be broadcasting tomorrow night and Friday afternoon for what is that, Good Friday, and Saturday, Sunday we should be off and back in action potentially Monday or Tuesday, but for the weekend we will be taking the time off. I do have to work, but we'll be working and then being able to enjoy our afternoons, not having any broadcasts or anything else, and just kind of take some nice chill and relaxing me time there, and then on Sunday, obviously family dinner and everything else. Here we go, back to green flag racing as the 8 rider Tyler Jackson leads us back down into the Lucas Oil Speedway, quarter 1 and 2. Takes us down the back straightaway back into 3. Here is T-Jack looking to click off another lap and hoping to try to pull away from everybody else's Franks in the 7SX of Stefanski. Door-to-door right there, and that's going to open up the inside groove now for Mr. Hargraves. Here comes Will Hargraves down the inside lane. He's found something down there on that bottom side, maybe saving a little extra tire there in that 71 ride, and now he's going to work his way up to the front of the field. His contact, Tyrell gets turned around right there. No caution flag on the racetrack, a heartbreaker for that number 2 machine. Steven Stefanski also getting tied up in that one. Both drivers going to go for a loop-de-loop. Let's take a look back and see what happens here quickly to this 2 ride. Is Ralph up and in that 5th position, trying to find something down low, sends it in deep. The rear end kicks out and around. Kyle Moyer just unfortunately could not get checked up enough, maybe get a little piece of him there, and then they start to stack up back there behind him, and Steven Stefanski muscles gets ran over right there. He gets turned around. No caution flag. We keep it clean and green. So clean and green, still racing out there on the speedway. We look back through the field. You look back at Jamie Massey, that 52 ride. Unfortunately, maybe a little bit of damage to that Dirt Panda Wild Bill's Race Designs number 52 ride. The Billy Northcott throwback paint scheme there for Jamie Massey. He's still trying to race his way inside the top 10 here. He's been stuck in traffic. He's maybe burned up his equipment or having some damage on that race car. Just kind of stuck back there and nowhere for him to really go. And unfortunately, this race is running away away from him in a quick hurry as only 5 more laps left to go here. 5 more laps for Tyler Jackson. Can T-Jack hold off a hard-charging Hargraves back here as well? Back there in position number 2. Lon Frank slides back into 3rd as Jacob Stefanski there in 4th, and now Jackie Whaley up inside the top 5. So Whaley making a move up here inside the top 5 now, is right there behind him is that TNT Racing number 38 of Justin Johnson. Johnson rolls there in 6th with Brandon Van Houten, and look out, Jacob Stefanski. Oh no, tough break here. Looks like Stefanski may have gotten up into the outside fence here. Heavy right front damage here for that 7X ride. Slow on the racetrack down on the inside of the Speedway, and looks like he's going to try and get this race car off the racetrack if he does get stopped here on the Speedway, as there's a caution flag. Caution flag is going to come out no matter what. Here is a bunch of drivers getting tied up. Oh no, this is a tough one, as it looks like a couple of drivers here. Jamie Massey tied up in this one. Potentially the 11 ride also tied up in it, as... And we're going to have to take a look back. You see the 71 right now. Slow on the racetrack up on the high side. That's Will Hargraves tied up in this one. As there we go. Massey and the 11, they get tied together. Nowhere to go for Evan Monaghan or Cameron Stefanski as they get tied up in it. Now heavy damage there for Jamie Massey. But let's take a look a little farther back here. I do believe Hargraves and that 7X of Stefanski potentially make some big contact here. I don't know what happened. Did he run out of fuel? Did Jacob Stefanski potentially run out of fuel? Maybe seeing the same thing now out of the 71 ride. Oh no, this could get very interesting here. If drivers are starting to run into fuel issues out there on the racetrack. Hargraves now off the Speedway. Massey also off the racetrack. Casey Childers no longer out there, as well as Stephen Baru. Baru still out there on the racetrack, but we do see Evan Stefanski, Jacob Stefanski, both down pit side here as well. The 20 rider Cody Gagliano, that 18 of Tyrell, Kyle Moyer also down pit side here. So a lot of drivers down in on pit road, and out in front it's Tyler Jackson. T-Jack back to the loud pedal as Lon Franks and Jackie Whaley back there in tow. Justin Johnson there in 4th, and Bryce Dickinson up inside the top 5. Out there on the racetrack as the white flag has been displayed. One more time around here for Tyler Jackson. The fuel may be running low, but this 8 ride is hooked up and putting on a show here this evening, is down through corner number 3. One last shot there for Lon Franks, could not get to him, as out of 4 it's Tyler Jackson. T-Jack picks up the win and pulls himself up and into victory lane. As you take a look back, it looks like Lon Franks slides back into 5th out of corner 3 and 4. Looks like this car is going to run out of fuel as well. Right here, he's spitting, he's spotting her, and unfortunately runs out of gas himself. You see the 5 ride of Chris Hill, he's slow on the racetrack. The 38 ride also out of fuel there. And man, oh man, what a crazy finish. I did not think fuel was going to be a factor here this evening, but unfortunately for a lot of these drivers, it took them from a good finish and into a bad finish, but no one able to catch this 8 ride of Tyler Jackson, as T-Jack able to pick up the checkered flag and pull himself up and into victory lane. Jackie Whaley there in 2nd, and it's Brycey Bear, Bryce Dickinson, able to round out our top 3. Brycey Bear there in 3rd, as Will Hargraves is out of gas. Oh no. Oh no, that is wild, man. That is wild. It's been a little bit since we saw a fuel mileage race here in one of these dirt races. That is crazy. As James says, yes, they are running out. They are running out there. That is crazy. I didn't think we were going to see that. I didn't see that one in the cards here this afternoon, but nonetheless, created some excitement, some chaos, and some carnage there late in this race. And unfortunately for some very fast drivers, not getting the runs that they were hoping for, but that made things very interesting, as T-Jack, Tyler Jackson able to pick up the win. Jackie Whaley there in 2nd, and Bryce Dickinson able to round out our top 3 there on the Speedways. We'll get ready to pull our race winner and the rest of the top 3 up here into the broadcast booth. Hey Tyler, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy? Hey Tyler, you got a copy? I don't know if you can talk in that channel. Oh, no, we're suppressed in here too. Okay. Let me take a look here. Hey, Tyler, you got a copy?
Yeah, man, I got you. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like for some reason it doesn't let you talk there in the broadcaster booth. But nonetheless, man, a great run, a great race. You're able to put that Dirt Panda DWR number 8 machine, the Alpha Shark, ride back up into victory lane here this afternoon, man. Take us back through this one. And what's kind of going through your mind here as late in the race definitely wasn't in the cards in my books. I didn't think we were going to have fuel issues, but all of a sudden, fuel mileage really started to come into play there late in this race as drivers started to drop like flies there in those closing laps, man. How close were you, and what was going through your mind there as all that carnage and everything was starting to happen?
Yeah, when we were rolling around for a parade lap or whatever, somebody mentioned it was close, and I think it had estimated 67 laps. We were running 65 or whatever, so I knew it was going to be close. Really didn't worry about it in the beginning. I kind of was trying to run the bottom just because that's where I like to be, but Lon started making a lot of time up top, so he kind of forced my hand to go up top and probably burn way more fuel than I would have anyway. But yeah, he was a lot better than me, and so was Jacob Stefanski. They both, I mean, they passed me like I was sitting still, and I don't know what it is with this track. I can't figure out how to run the middle of the track when it's slick. If I run the absolute bottom, if it's good, I'm all right, and the absolute top, I can run, I'm all right. But when it slicks off and you got to run right through the middle, I just am lacking something here. I can't figure it out. But I guess we're rather be lucky than good tonight. We saw I think there was a caution with, excuse me, I don't know, 15 to go, and I was right on the edge of fuel, and I heard a couple other guys talking that they were a lot lower than me. So I figured I'd just run the bottom the last 15 laps, and luckily half throttle for me, it seemed like it was the same speed as full throttle. So it ended up working out. We had zero point 0.4 gallons left, so I think it was like 3 laps, so a couple more green white checkers we would have ran out to.
Yeah, that is wild, man. That is definitely a crazy one. Luckily enough, no late race chaos there, no caution flags before seeing that white flag fly as drivers were running out of fuel. Drivers were, just trying to get to the finish line, and we saw some of them that were, rolling down through 3 and 4, coming to the checkered flag, run out of fuel, and all of a sudden give up good finishes like Lon himself and a couple of these other cats like Justin Johnson and some of these guys, unfortunately, running out of fuel right before the line there, and unfortunately not coming home with the runs that they were hoping for this afternoon, but you're able to cash in and pick up another big checkered flag, man. It's got to feel good nonetheless, being able to battle up there at the front of the field. Obviously, you and Lon and Jacob Stefanski, you guys were put on a heck of a show there for quite a while and beating and banging, battling there at the front of the field. Different lines, different grooves out there on the speedway, and seeing Lon being able to pass you and take that lead and late in this race. Obviously, I don't know if he was trying to save fuel or if he was still trying to hang on to it, but you were able to take that race lead back away from him and start to pull away there before a couple more of those late race caution flags.
Yeah, me and Lon had a good battle there. One time he got me pretty jacked up on the straightaway. I wasn't ready for that and kind of threw me off. But yeah, it was a good race up there. And luckily when it comes to fuel mileage, you got to run the bottom. And I find it hard to believe there's too many guys that can run the bottom as good as I can on here. I don't know why. I can't figure out why I can only run the bottom, and doesn't seem like I can run the middle. But yeah, it works out when you got to go down there for me. I noticed they were all backing off, so I knew they must have had a lot less fuel than I did. I knew as long as I stayed on the bottom and ran half throttle, we'd be fine. And then I finally felt like I had enough fuel, so I started stretching it out. And then problem is when you're run out of fuel, other guys run out of fuel, so you get caution. So we had a really nice lead there until that last caution with 2 to go. That kind of made me nervous, but yeah, good race. Got lucky there, got into Lon one time and half spun him, and the caution came out and saved our spot. So that was lucky. So pretty much just a lucky night. Tried to throw a new paint on here. I had Tommy Gun Customs making me a new paint that's pretty cool looking, but we didn't get it loaded up. So I think I got yellow wheels and a teal car. So I think we're looking pretty ugly for the broadcast.
Yeah, definitely had the yellow wheels on. I don't know what was going on. It's I refreshed Training Paints there before I went live as well, and it just did not load in as that paint scheme. But nonetheless, man, still looking sharp out there, and we can't wait to see that new paint scheme out there on the Speedway, and hopefully we'll see it out there this Friday night and see you try to pick up another checkered flag here in the Dirt Warrior Racing League Trinity Series here this week. As Great run, great race nonetheless. You park yourself up here into the Lucas Oil victory lane. T-Jack, who'd you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance out there on the racetrack?
Yeah, all the guys at DWR, you for the broadcast, of course. Everybody for coming out and supporting us. We're having a good time with it. Got pretty lucky again with the top 2 qualifiers had to take EOLs, so that helped out a lot. So between that and fuel mileage and just just a matter of luck tonight. So we'll take it. Not our best performance, but we got the W and we'll move on. Maybe run Friday and come from the back.
Absolutely, brother. Well, we look forward to seeing what you can do and see if you can put yourself back up here in victory lane. T-Jack, congrats on the great run. Congrats on the win here this afternoon, and we can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack.
All right, thanks, brother, and shout out to Jackie and Bryce up on the podium. It's nice seeing different guys up here. So congrats to them. Thanks for the broadcast. We'll see you.
See you, brother. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner, Tyler Jackson. T-Jack able to get the win and pull himself up and into victory lane here this afternoon. What a run, what a drive there for him as he pulls himself up and into victory lane. As now, we'll get ready to pull in our second place finisher, the 720 rider, Jackie Whaley. Whaley, for the most part of this race, was kind of stuck back there just outside the top 10, but man, he had a heck of a run, heck of a drive, and a great performance rolling out there on the speedway, and then late in this one, getting the benefit of some other drivers running out of fuel and working himself up and into position number 2 as we'll pull Jackie up here into the broadcast booth.
A lot of guys.
Hey, Jackie, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Jackie, man, what a race for you, man. As we saw you battling hard out there on the speedway for quite a while, just outside that top 10. And then late in this race, obviously getting a couple caution flags, having a couple of those stack-ups. You're able to work yourself through there, gain a few positions, and then drivers start running out of fuel, and you're right there in the best position and able to slide around a lot of them and find yourself up here in position number 2 this afternoon, man. Take us back through this race and what's kind of going through your mind right now as you join us up here on the podium.
I just got lucky is all. And, Will and Lon, they both ran out. They both had really good runs. I felt like I had maybe a top 5 car, maybe. But I've had some horrible runs here lately. So I'll take this one, man. It was a gift, but I'll take it.
Absolutely. A little Easter gift right there for you, Jackie, as drivers run into issues late in this race, but you're in the right place at the right time and find yourself back up here on the podium in that beautiful 304 Roots number 720 ride. But take us back through this race. Obviously, a lot of different lanes, a lot of different grooves out there for people to drive. And on these restarts late in this race, man, it looked like it was chaotic. It looked like it was mayhem out there as you guys were, 3-4 wide at times out there on the speedway, and you just kind of had to hope that you could find a lane and not get ran over from behind or somebody slip up and take you out there on the speedway.
For the most part, where I was running, that people behind me was pretty respectful. You kind of had to stay out of the gas at the end, but like you said, throughout the whole race, I felt like it was 2 or 3 lines. It was pretty racy all night. I felt like it was for me, anyways. I made up some ground early, so but all in all, I thought it was a decent race, pretty good race. Everybody was pretty respectful. It wasn't like Monday night. We had a disaster of a show Monday night. Good thing it wasn't broadcasted.
Yeah, well, and this one was definitely a whole lot better. Only really a couple caution flags for incidences out there on the speedway. A couple other ones were due to, obviously, fuel starting to become an issue there later on. But, man, it was a heck of a show, heck of a battle out there. As you said, there were multiple lines for majority of this race. We didn't really get it, bottom lockdown or top side only. So it was really fun, really awesome to see everyone, throughout the field battling and switching lanes and trying to figure out the best way that they can work themselves to the front of the field, and you obviously found the best lane for yourself as you pull yourself up here into position number 2, man. Who'd you like to thank for such a great run and another solid performance out there on the racetrack?
All my teammates back at DWR, 304 Roots, iRacing iFlags, Mama Schuler Promotions, Grumpy's Garage, and there's several others. I can't remember them all, but thank everybody that's involved with DWR. This is a really great group to be involved with. I really like being around these guys. These guys are a really good group of guys to be around in iRacing, in my opinion. But hey, Lon's complaining and crying because he run out of the gas, and he's the one that made the damn server, so it's his own damn fault, in my opinion.
Yeah, hey, you gotta take him when you can get him out there. Luckily enough for Lon, there's no points or anything on the line, so it's nothing but bragging rights. And unfortunately for Lon, just came up about 50 meters shy of the checkered flag this afternoon.
Yeah, and I'm gonna rub it in when I get back in Discord.
Perfect. Jackie,
All right,
congrats on the great run, man. Congrats on the great race, and enjoy this one, and hopefully see some of that momentum being built in more and more trips
Oh,
you
for
up
sure.
to the broadcast booth.
Oh, for sure, it should. Like I said, I've been having bad luck, so maybe it's turned things around.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you,
We look
Peace.
forward to it. We look forward to seeing more of these post-race interviews with you and seeing you right back up here in the booth maybe Friday night.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night.
That's it.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Jackie Whaley as he comes home in position number 2 here this afternoon. A great run and a great drive there for that 7:20 ride as now we'll get ready to pull in our 3rd place finisher here this evening as, okay, let's play this back here a little bit. Let's pull this back here as our 3rd place finisher here this afternoon. It's the 84 of Bryce Dickinson. Brycey Bear coming home there in that 3rd spot this afternoon. Let's get him up here into the broadcast booth. As Adam Oxley, what's good, Adam? Adam coming in with that like on the stream. How are you, brother? Adam showing the love here this evening as, what was that notification sound for? I don't know what that was for, but whenever it was for, I thank you for whoever it was or whatever it was. I don't see anything on Twitch or YouTube or Facebook, but nonetheless, we appreciate you guys showing the love here this afternoon as Tyson Pankow, Jeff Dickinson, Adam Oxley, Evan Stefanski all coming in, showing the love there with the reactions on the broadcast. And it's not too late, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, hit that share, hit that follow, hit that subscribe button as we'll get ready to pull our 3rd place finisher up here into the broadcast booth. Hey, Bryce, it's Aaron up here on the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
Sure do, buddy.
Brycey Bear, man, what a run, what a race, man. Take us back through this one. Obviously, a hard-fought battle out there on the racetrack, man. We saw you up inside the top 5 there for a little bit, duking it out, then just outside the top 5 for quite a while, having a heck of a battle out there on the racetrack, and then obviously late in this race, being in the right place at the right time, able to pick off some of these drivers as they were running into fuel problems out there on the Speedway, and here you are, able to stroll up and pick up a solid podium finish here this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised to be up here. I didn't think I was gonna get up to the top 3. I thought I had a top 5 car, but not quite quick enough to get into the top 3 or up onto the podium. But when I heard Lon mention something about fuel, I thought, oh boy, I feel like the Grinch around Christmas. I feel like I'm gonna take some presents and run off with it. But we weren't too lucky. Some of the guys were swinging out a little too wide there when I was trying to get a run on the high side, which it is what it is. But it was fun, all in all.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of chaos out there late in this race to really mix things up after seeing what the first 50 laps or so go pretty much caution-free out there on the Speedway. Just non-stop, good, hard-fought racing out there. And then some of those late race restarts, we see it. It was chaos, man. What was it like from your perspective? Obviously, a lot of 2 wide, but there was 3 wide, 4 wide, 5 wide racing out there on the racetrack as everyone was just trying to drive their way up to the front of the field here. And, unfortunately for some of them, just nowhere really to go. You kind of got stuck there for a little while with really no lane, no options to keep on moving forward.
It was pretty scary. Without giving too much context, I may have created a black hole in this room. I'm not 100% sure. But things were pretty tight around here. I was pretty worried. I was looking out both the front and the rear view. Just trying to make sure I didn't run into someone or I wasn't going to get ran over and my night ruined right then and there. It was pretty scary with how slick it was and not really being able to find traction unless you completely killed the car and you had to make sure the car behind you wasn't gonna, go 30 miles per hour and quicker than you.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a tough spot to be out there on the Speedway, but you're able to survive all of that and late in this race, park yourself back up onto the podium here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Bryce, who'd you like to thank, man, for another solid run and great drive out there on the racetrack?
Got to thank all of the boys over at H&L. I can't do this without them. Papa Mike, 618 Laser Engraving. I got to thank you for broadcasting. the whole crew over at DWR for putting this on and saving the best for last. I got to thank Mama Bear and give her a huge shout out. Yesterday was her birthday, so happy belated birthday to Mama Bear. Trying to do a little bit better, get that win for her, but we'll settle for third, and I know she's happy with it.
Yeah, she's definitely going to be happy with it. It would have been amazing to see her park that 84 right up in victory lane, as I know Tyler T-Jack, he said he had about 0.4 gallons left there in the tank. What was your fuel looking like late in this race? Did you save a little bit more? If we saw another couple caution flags there late in the race, could you maybe have made it there for a couple yellow flags and seeing everyone else start to run out of fuel?
It was pretty close. I was at about 2 laps left when we took the white flag. After we took the white flag, I didn't look back down at the black box, just kind of focused on hitting my marks and not running into one of the guys running out of fuel.
Yeah, McT-Jack was right around there as well. 2 or 3 laps left in fuel, so it would have been fun. It would have been interesting and entertaining to see if we would have saw another late race caution flag there. But nonetheless, man, it ends up being a great night for you and a great night for some of these other drivers. Not so fun for some of those other cats that were up there battling at the front of the field, as they did not get the finishes that they were hoping for. But it allows Jackie to jump up into second and for you to slide up here into that third spot on the Speedway. Bryce, congrats on the great run. Congrats on the great race, and we hope to see you back out there in action either on Friday night or back in here next Wednesday.
I'm just saying, for the record, if I ran out of gas, I would have ran out like Ricky Bobby across the finish line. Thank you. We'll see y'all next week.
Beauty. See you later, brother. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place finisher, Bryce Dickinson, as Brycey Bear comes home in position number 3. What a run and what a drive there for that 84 ride, as Brycey Bear having a great run and a great race here in this one, as the mechanic says, is there a race after this one? Nope, it's one and done, brother. Unfortunately, one and done here this afternoon. No more racing action here this afternoon for us, as I'll be getting ready to eat dinner and head to bed and get ready to wake up, go to work, and then do this all over again tomorrow night, as we'll be back in action tomorrow evening with some more racing action here on Peacemaker Gaming, as the Hypershift Racing League will go to battle tomorrow night for some more NASCAR fun here on Peacemaker Gaming. As Mama Bear says, Mama Bear was doing a happy dance. We love to see that, Mama Bear. We would love to see that. And also, happy belated birthday to Mama Bear. Happy belated birthday, Mama Bear. Only 29 years young. I mean, that's quite awesome. Only being 29 years, that's just such a young lady. Is there a Discord? There is a Discord there for the Dirt Warrior Racing League. I don't know if, see if I can share the Discord or not. I know a lot of times my Discord for some reason is messed up. Yeah, it shows hidden, use copy button. I hit the copy button and it literally copies, not the code, it copies the hidden use copy button. I can even post it in there, man. Copy, paste, and this is all it shows. It doesn't even give me the it doesn't even give me the code. So what you're going to have to do is find the Discord on their Facebook channel. If you look them up on Facebook over at Dirt Warrior Racing League or the DWRL, you should be able to find them over there on Facebook. They tend to have all their posts with the Discord in it, and you should be able to join their Discord that way. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, unfortunately, that is going to do it for us here in this one. Mama Bear says thank you at 30 years. Oh, Mama Bear, come on now. Come on now. You're not that old. You're not that old. You can't be. You can't be. No way. No way. As Mama Bear, we appreciate you and love you so much up here. And we can't wait to see you guys back in here tomorrow night for some more racing action. But that's going to do it for us up here in the broadcast booth. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. And we'll see y'all later, baby. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and love.
Rip the night burning bright, yeah, no stop. Wheels screaming, spit that fire, dirt and gravel, they pop. Oh, slick under the street lights, the shadows start to dance. Adrenaline like thunder, man, give me that last chance. Wednesday night, street fight, fast gasoline is all they need. Tracks alive like a monster, the dirt flies and bends. Ruthless turns, hard turns, savage till the night ends. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Underneath the moonlight, crowds roar so loud. Pride's in the throttle, not in faces of a crowd. A brotherhood of metal, sweat, gears that grind. Cross that line or get left behind. Cold air cuts the dawn, still our fires rage. Holding bruises like trophies, exhaling battle cage. The stands are empty now, but the ghosts they remain. This dirt track story sings forever in our veins. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. This is raw real. Roaring engines rip the night, burning bright, yeah, no stop. Wheels screaming, spit that fire, dirt and gravel, they pop. Oil slick under the street lights, the shadows start to dance. Adrenaline like thunder, man, give me that last chance. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Crowds gather up like wolves, howling for that speed. Races blood pumping, fast gasoline is all they need. Tracks alive